Composition refers to how different elements are arranged in an artwork. Learning how to create a dynamic and interesting composition can help us better communicate, guide how others see our art, and create focus or interest. There are 5 main elements to consider when creating a composition that grabs attention. The first is putting your subject in the rule of thirds crosshair. We can see in Nighthawks by Edward Hopper how he creates asymmetrical balance with the subject in the lower third of the composition. The second is to ensure you have a focal point by varying the size, color, shape, value, texture, or lines in your composition. In the artwork Paris Street Rainy Day by Gustave Thiebaud, using size variation and negative space creates a clear focus of the couple in the foreground. The third, cropping the image or ensuring some objects fall off the edge of the frame, really will draw our viewers closer. Supper at Emmaus by Caravaggio was a beginning master of using cropped images to draw viewers closer in to the subject by creating a feeling of leaning in or involvement. Fourth is overlapping our objects. This creates depth and space in our work. Still Life with Peaches and Pears by Paul Cézanne overlaps multiple objects, creating a relationship between them, dynamic shapes and shadows. And finally, ensuring there's contrast with size, shapes, color, texture, or value. The Lady with an Airman by Leonardo da Vinci creates a clear contrast between the dark background and the bright skin of the subject, drawing our attention to her face first. Today, we'll begin practicing using these 5 elements to compose our own composition that creates interest and emphasis. Before we split off and begin practicing arranging our own unique compositions, let's first look at some composition photos that are great, okay, and not working out, and see what is missing from the composition to create visual hierarchy. What could be added? What could be removed? And is there a focal point, which is the main question we want to be asking ourselves today. Each partner group will have an iPad, objects, and a flashlight to create more dynamic shadows. Your tip for success is to keep the iPad on the table the entire time while arranging the objects behind the camera lens. Start by ensuring your camera has the grid rule of thirds tool activated in the settings. Then begin by placing one prominent object in that rule of thirds crosshair. Place other supporting objects around it, lines leading toward it, and leave some room for negative space. Finish by turning on your flashlight to also build more drastic shadow shapes and ensure proper highlights and shadows will be in your composition. Each of you in your partner group will take a turn arranging their own composition, putting their name on that picture work, and airdropping it for submission. After you capture a photo of your composition today that you feel has all 5 of the various methods to create emphasis and focus, we will then be submitting it. But before you do, you need to make sure your name and class are listed on your photo. We're going to follow the following steps on your iPad to ensure you have your name clearly placed on your photo before airdropping it for submission. Today, you will have your photo that you submitted printed out, and we are going to be doing a simple transfer method onto our drawing paper using an 8B pencil and a pen. You should be getting the printout that has your name and class that you so carefully submitted last time, and you'll have tape available at your table. Take a nice long piece of tape, and we are going to tape our photo onto a piece of drawing paper, ensuring that our tape is horizontal and loops around the back. Next, we're going to take that 8B pencil and use it to cover the entire back of our drawing with graphite. Once my copy paper has a layer of graphite on the back, I will go ahead and flip it closed. And the very first step we're going to take is to outline the frame of our composition, because hopefully you have some cropped objects and we want them to not just be kind of ending in space, we want them to have a line that crops them out. Begin with a ruler and your pen to first outline. If you flip your page open, you'll see that the graphite is transferring onto our drawing paper. Next, you're going to go ahead and use your pen to very carefully outline each shape. For objects that are straight, make sure that you please use a ruler when you are outlining them. For all of my blocks, I want to make sure that they have a nice, crisp, straight edge. For places that are shadows, you are welcome to outline the shape of the shadow, but then I would also like you to create some cross-hatching inside the shadow. Cross-hatching is when you take and add lines at a diagonal to illustrate that it is a darkened shadow area. Now that we have done our transfer technique onto our drawing paper, we are going to be using some bolder colors to do the outlining of our pencil. Now, in the inspired style of Wayne Thiebaud, who often has colors that are quite vivid and vibrant around the edges of his tinted objects, we also want to choose colors that are really bold and bright. I really recommend the primary colors of red, blue, and yellow, but feel free to use some secondary colors as well. If you would like at this point, you can also go ahead and just fold your reference photo in half and tuck it behind your work. Remember that we also want to be using a ruler every time we are doing any straight lines. For each object, I recommend that on the side where the light is hitting to use a warm color, and on the side where the light is creating shadow to create a cool color. So on the other side of my crayon where there is shadow, I am going to use some blue. And finally, for the areas where there are the cast shadow on the ground, you may outline the shape of it, but I really think that we can tackle the shadow with our next step, which will be colored pencil. So I will leave it up to you of whether you would like to outline the cast shadow or not. And I would also like you to use your ruler and a black zebra marker to outline the border of your composition. Now that we have created our vibrant outlines, I would like us to use colored pencil to complete the values on the inside. There are two things that I'm looking for. One is for us to use our colored pencil using pressure, direction, and layers to create changes in value. The second thing is to try and use some analogous colors to create those tertiary colors. So for example, putting a layer of yellow and including some orange to create a yellow-orange. As you begin coloring, you may think, do I need to color the same colors as my picture? I would recommend yes. But if you feel like altering one of the colors of your objects will help to enhance the contrast or overall emphasis in your composition, you are more than welcome to change the color. But we want to stay true to the values that we see in our photo. Speaking of, at this point, you may now carefully pull off the tape, exposing your drawing so that you can see both your reference photo and drawing at the same time. We want to be looking back and forth at our drawing to make sure that we are getting the correct value on our object as what we have in our photo. Start with a light application of your colored pencil before adding more pressure and changing direction to increase the value and contrast of your work. Like I said before, we want to try to experiment with some analogous coloring. So choose another color that is next to the color you're using on the color wheel to deepen your overall hue. So I'm applying blue to my blue-green, and this is going to act as a way for me to also create that shadow on the edge of my block. Speaking of shadow, in the style of Wayne Thiebaud, we are going to want to use blue as our shadow. So the place where I have shadow on my block, I'm going to apply blue. This really nice, vibrant blue is a great representation of the same type of blue that Wayne Thiebaud has in his artwork as well. The closer the object is to the ground, the darker and more crisp and clear the shadow will be. So close to my crayon here, the shadow will be very dark, and as it goes away, it will get a little bit hazier and lighter in value. I can even use my colored pencil to soften the edge of my shadow. And again, on this side where it gets close to the block, it will be a dark, crisp shadow. As I'm finishing up my drawing, I just want to remind you of what I'm expecting for your coloring. And that is to start with a light layer of pencil and to build up your pencil using some pressure, but also changing the direction of the pencil and coloring multiple layers. Not only multiple layers, but also integrating some of those analogous colors that we know to alter our color and either add shadow to it or deepen it to a tertiary color. And last reminder is that when shadows are close to an object, they are very hard and dark, and as they go away from the object, they become lighter and a little bit more of a gradient.